This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.
Here we go, the JackJumpers taking on Melbourne United. Now, Melbourne United looking to go back-to-back, and they looked awfully impressive in Game 1. But this is going to be the first final held in Tasmania, and I'm expecting the crowd to be up and about, and the team especially. They've played fantastic at home this year, and I just think we saw a little bit from them late that they're going to be able to put up a fight against United. So not with a huge amount of confidence, but out of these two teams, I am looking to go for the JackJumpers at the head-to-head there. With the line, I expect it to be a close game. If Tasmania does get it done, it's going to be awfully close. They're not going to blow this United team out, so I might even take the JackJumpers at the line here. And the total points, tough to read with these teams. A defensive mind for the JackJumpers, but you just don't know. Enjoy the game and gamble responsibly.
I love the way that we came out tonight. I thought Delhi set a tone, kind of pushed everybody to another level.
He looks for three. It's good. What a start from Delhi. Hot start from Melbourne.
They've got two great guards, and we just wanted to try to wear them down. And
they were very, very good defensively, and they've always been, and they got after us.
Daniel blocks. Joe Lawala-Chul, not that time. Lawala-Chul took it upstairs.
Obviously, Joe was outstanding.
Credit them, they were just very aggressive, and, you know, they got some obviously very good athletes, and it's a hell of a team.
The Garter on the move. He's had a night. Porty says, no, sir. And then he runs the lane. Rewarded at the other end with a dunk. They've only scored 2 points in this third quarter.
We were on a path of getting beat by 20 or 30 points very easily there in the third. And
it's getting away from the JackJumpers.
These guys continue to fight and battle and scratch back in the game and still make it interesting.
Good block from McIntosh, fighting hard. Josh Adams.
Bit to work on ahead of Saturday for Tasmania. This one is in the book, 74-63. They flexed their muscle in Game 1.
It's a series, and they just held home court, and they won one game. And now we get to go home, and we'll see what we can do defending the island back there.
It's arguably the most important basketball game ever played in Tasmania. The JackJumpers looking to reach the NBL Championship decider in their first season. But to do so, they're going to have to come from one game down in the semi-final series against the reigning champs, Melbourne United. And can they do it? Well, there's plenty of love in the house, and their veteran stars of the past, like Anthony Stewart, believe Tasmania can win here.
Yeah, how good's this, Casey? The cagey veterans in Melbourne United versus the new kids on the blocks in the Tasmanian JackJumpers. I got a feeling we're going back to Melbourne on Monday.
Well, how do they make sure they do that, Tassie?
Well, I think there's two key areas. The rebounding. We've got to rebound well. If they win the rebound count, they win the game. And secondly, this crowd here. You've got to get them involved, get up early. You don't want to be behind at half-time and chase these guys. Down the stretch, anything could happen then.
Great atmosphere here in Hobart. Let's now hand over to our commentary team. Andrew Gaines, Leonard Copeland and Jack Hebron.
Good on you, Case. Good on you, Stewie. And good evening, everyone. Welcome to Game 2 of the semi-final series. Melbourne very, very good in Game 1, but a bit of optimism for the JackJumpers there.
Well, absolutely. And I think if you look at the JackJumpers, the key to them is can they put points on the board? All they need to do is repeat what they did defensively, because they were quite good. They restricted Melbourne United to win the 70s, and that's not that easy to do. And they also need to do a better job on the boards, as Stewie alluded to. But this is not beyond the realms of possibility when you consider the defense that the JackJumpers played. They just got to find a way to free up their offense a little bit more than what we saw in Game 1.
Let's take a look, Copes, at their DoorDash starting lineup. The Tasmania JackJumpers use the code DASH to LA on all orders between now and May 29. So same starting lineup that they've had for a number of games now. How do they find a way? Melbourne put the clamps on defensively in a big way. How can they find a way to get their scorers?
Well, that's right. Melbourne ran them off the three-point line. They only took 14 threes, and that's a low for the year. McVay was good early, and they forgot about him. They got to get him going. Also, Clint Steiner, who came in, only took 3 shots. He's a very good shooter. You got to get him going if you think you got a chance.
And you know what? I know it's probably not embedded in their DNA, but I think they've got to explore some early option as well. Push the ball up the floor. Put Melbourne United in some challenges in the defensive transition to try and create a few more easier baskets. It's easier said than done, and particularly even harder when you're not rebounding, but they're the things that I think they need to focus on.
DoorDash starting lineup for Melbourne United, who are looking to sweep the series and book their spot in the NBL Grand Final Series. Same starters from the other night. Jack White, 10 rebounds, was phenomenal on the glass, but Chul copes. Dean Vickerman spoke about him post-game. He was our footlocker player of the game. 15 and 7 with 6 blocks.
He was tough. And look, if he plays the way he played that first game, I don't see them winning. They're going to have to double team this guy and make him pass the ball. He's done a new mission, it seems like now. He's focused and he's ready to go. If he's rebounding and he's tough on the box, he can shoot the three. If he's going, they're going.
No, it is. He's big time, and he can put the ball to the deck. And we saw he's not prolific from the perimeter, but he does stretch the floor, and the rim protection, the touch around the basket, and the way he runs the floor. And he doesn't mind a little bit of jaw-jacking as well.
He's fired up, isn't he? Let's go, boys.
Game 2 in the Apple Isle. The JackJumpers in their debut season here in the Hungry Jacks NBL, hosting a final. Sold-out crowd at MyState Bank Arena. You could not get a ticket anywhere in Tasmania for love nor money.
Don't you love it? Don't you love this playoff time? Melbourne's got to get Gooning going early, because if you forget about him, that's only going to give the JackJumpers a chance to win this game. You can't forget about a guy who scores the way he does.
No, that's right. He's really struggled the last 2 games against the JackJumpers. I guess there's a little asterisk against that game 3 of the regular season, because
you mean the one he didn't care about?
They clearly weren't overly concerned about that result.
Dellavedova was aggressive early in game 1 and starts aggressively tonight.
That's a good sign, because there was an issue with his wrist. We saw him shoot a free throw left-handed and come up with a couple of air balls from the three-point line. So it's a attack on the rim, but clearly the wrist looks okay.
This is like a play. This is a play game for Delly. Delly's playing with the big boys. LeBron in the playoffs. Come on now.
That's right. Had to guard Steph Curry.
The Jet. It's Jack McVeigh involved, and that's exactly what you were looking for.
That's what he needs to do. And don't forget about it. They put him on that bench in the second half and just totally forgot it. He had 11 points at halftime, and I thought maybe he was going to get 20, 30.
And in that quest to take away the through ball, which they did a great job, Melbourne United, those driving lanes open up. Now, that's a little silly by McVeigh. I think McVeigh might just get a little...
I don't think it's that silly, Drew. You got to let him know I'm at home, brother. Well, you can't come across that lane like that.
I hear you, brother. But what happens if you send him to the line for 2 free throws and you got possession from
That's all right. Guess what? Next time he knows I'm in there.
No, that's true. I don't mind the statement. Have a look off the ball. There's McVeigh with 1 hit.
And take that with you.
And, no, not a lot in it.
A little bit of mayonnaise, perhaps.
That's right. Playoff time, brother. It's playoff time.
Nothing more than the foul.
Good.
Now tell me that wouldn't have been a foul. In the regular season game, that would have been blowing their whistle. They would have 7 reviews. And...
That's all right. That's all right. This is what we want.
Let the boys play. Chul made the most of that matchup on Krislovic, and there's the double. Comes straight away from Majet. Illy has to back it out. Shot clock down to 3. Drives with the left hand, gets it to go.
He's been so tough. I mean, known as a defender, but his offensive game has gone to another level.
Averaging 8.5 points across the regular season. Had 8 in game 1. 2 of 2 from outside as well. That's a sloppy turnover.
That's a defense from Delhi.
Josh Majet, a prolific scorer for Tasmania this season, a prolific shooter, Drewy, was only 1 of 5 in game 1. Matthew Dellavedova made his life a nightmare.
And I think 5's the number that you reflect. You're going to make him miss some shots, but only to get 5 was just an outstanding defensive job on him. He still had the 6 assists.
Golding off target. There's Shea Illy again. He's everywhere to start this game. Chul over the top of Krislovic.
He's up and about, isn't he? Telling the fans, trying to hush the fans.
Think he might have made a few friends. MyState Bank Arena.
There's just something about the playoffs, Jack, that gets everyone a little buzzed.
Here he is with a hand in the play there. Krislovic kept possession. Off to Adams. And Krislovic on the O glass. Jet looks up and he's got away from Dellavedova, who was guarding Krislovic. Nice finish and one.
Beautiful spin.
That was good, and they throw it inside, and Krislovic just shows the growth in that one play. Compare him to the last couple of seasons or throughout his career, and coming in, gets a starting opportunity, and confidence is a word that's bandied around a lot as we take a look at Luala Chul. Just, that is a tough move down low. But Krislovic here goes one way, they take it away and spins in traffic. That is just a confident move.
And he makes the extra, brings it back to a one-point game. Early stages in the opening quarter. Tonight's sellout.
Imagine how loud it is in that place, Chap.
Well, it makes it 2 sellouts in 2 nights, Coach, after last night. First time we've had that in the NBL since 1993. Back-to-back sellouts for semi-final games.
You hear that, Gazy? That's when we did things. That's when we did things back.
That's when I was watching you blokes. I was about 7 years old. Supporting the Magic, breaking our hearts time and time again. Out of bounds. Jack McVeigh.
Oh,
he's the hype guy.
He's trying to do the cheerleading, the points, the defense. He's trying to do it all. And I think you see that reaction because he understands how important to get the fans jacked up and engaged in this game as early as he possibly can. And that's when you start to win those 50-50 calls a little bit more, when you start to get that aggressiveness coming from the fans.
Golding turns the corner, got away from Kenyon. We've got another semi-final wedgie.
Well, you can see right from the start that the attack on the rim by Melbourne United, just each and every one of them got a license to put the ball to the deck and get some heat on the rim.
Melbourne led it by 5. Quarter time in game 1. It was the third quarter where they made their move and split the game apart. Krislovic, shot clock at 4. Luala Chul not having a bar of it.
No, sir.
Here's Caleb Agata, who was so influential on Thursday night. 16 points on 7 of 11.
And don't forget about the boards either. He did a great job on the boards, had 7 boards, and he did it all in 13.5 minutes.
Nat Kenyon showing some confidence.
We're calling these names, and they're playing as if they've been in this league a long time. You know what I mean? The way they play, it's just amazing.
Foul is a block. Majet thought it was on him.
Well, it is, and you look at someone like Kenyon, who was out of the league, down to Ballarat, I think it was, and played there and worked his way back into the NBL. Even then, you're thinking, well, what type of role can he have? But playing under Scott Roth, a system-based offensive structure, they find roles for guys.
It was a chance, and he took it.
Yeah.
Now as a contract for next season.
A bigger contract, Jack.
Yep. The price has gone up, as they say. Agata. 0 from 2 to start. And the Jet walks the ball up the floor. Fires for 3, or was that a pass, or was it just somewhere in between all of that?
It didn't look like a proper extension on his shot, and as such comes up with the air ball. There it is, and that's the factor when you've got Joe Luala Chul coming out there. You just think about it and you don't follow through quite enough, and it's nothing but air. And as we expected, almost 5 minutes played and the scores are 7-6, so it's looking like it's going to be another really tough defensive struggle in this one.
Tassie only put 63 on the board, Copes, in game 1.
Both teams are known for their defense. If it's going to be one of those games, Joey, who wins this game?
Prevails, and that you expect to be Melbourne United.
Faye found Adams in the corner. He wants to take it baseline on Agata. Points are waved away. He's still flexing.
He's flexing like it was an and one.
Not sure he knows that it's been waved off.
Gee, Garda didn't do a whole lot wrong. Slides his feet and somehow gets called for the foul.
Let's get courtside to John Casey.
Jack, I've been lucky enough to be courtside at NBL games since 1987, and this is as good as anything I have heard. The fans coming in through the doors out front when we were there, everyone was up and about. The ushers were up and about. The people that selling food are up and about, and the fans here riding every call.
And they're back on the free throw line.
Is that 2 fouls on Joe Luau-Rachul?
Yes, sir. Wow. And the Melbourne United call a Chemist Warehouse timeout. The JackJumpers, in a low-scoring game, have scored the last 5.
It is, and it's been a real struggle for both these teams. And Melbourne United have had some good looks, haven't been able to connect, and they're just getting underneath. Adams gets called for the second foul, and he's going to spend some time on the bench. Dean Vickerman, he's going to be reluctant to test him and doesn't want to get him this third. I certainly think for the rest of this quarter, there's going to be a coach's challenge. I can't see Dean Vickerman winning this one. It looks like he comes underneath, certainly from that under the basket camera angle.
Well, there was one last night that was slightly similar.
Yes.
And the decision was made that it was with Harry Froling.
It was.
The decision was made that.
And clearly Harry Froling didn't foul last night.
No, that looks almost identical. And last night they said he wasn't set.
I think the one last night was far less than this one. Let's have a listen to what they come up with.
Successful. The call on the floor stands. We'll be shooting 2 shots.
Harry Froling was going backwards with his hands in the air.
I don't think he touched him. I don't even know if he touched him.
It was the offense that drew the foul. And this one here, you say, with the one that Harry Froling had last night, what more can the defense do? Whereas that one, he come underneath him, took his legs out, pushed him out, and he's...
That's a big decision to push that coach's challenge in early. This stage
so early. It is.
So free throws to come for United. Casey, you were taking a listen to Scott Roth.
Yeah, really interesting huddle there from the JackJumpers. All very positive, as you would expect. They've scored the last 5 points here. Melbourne hasn't scored for almost 3.5 minutes. But Scott Roth on the board was drawing up the plays that he wanted, and he had JA, JB, JM, and Jet, and then Clint as well. So it's certainly tough with all these J's in this team.
Thank you, Jay.
That's right. Better than our day. When Linz, our coach, the great Lindsay Gates, he'd use the coins. And
we go, Lindsay, am I the $2 coin or the 10 cent?
No, you were the $2 coin. Paul Wazza was the 10 cent.
Oh, my goodness.
Josh Adams. He's on the board.
But with Joe being out so earlier in the season, that might have hurt him, but Hook Porty's playing so much better. He's probably going to lose a lot.
He's pretty quiet in game 1. Ariel Hook Porty, only 4 points. So shot clock's at 3 for Agata. Look at the defensive pressure from Tasmania.
Only 0.3 left on the shot clock.
Oh, don't worry, he'll get it up. Agata will get it up.
Well, I don't think he can. It's really just got to be a tap.
If anybody can get it up, Joey, he can get it up. He ain't messing around, bro. Watch it. Watch it.
He's going to find a way. He's got 0.7 to work with.
Oh, they've changed it to 0.7. That's, you can catch and shoot on the 0.7. But this is outstanding defense by the JackJumpers early on.
Here we go.
Go to Hook Porty. He's got it off. Oh, didn't get it to stick. The Jet gave it up for McDaniel. Saw a path baseline and then called it off. Mikhail McIntosh misses. Rebound Bairstow. Great find for Adams.
It's something about that crowd. Something about being at home.
5-point lead for the JackJumpers.
11-6, 9 unanswered points for the home team. United, we don't say this too often, need a bucket.
Well, they do. This is well beyond the expectations, I think, of Scott Roth of what he could do defensively, but they're just blanketing Melbourne United, and there's just a right place at right time, and Adam stays with it, and good pass to find him.
Dellavedova comes out of the game. 2 points for him. They love this inbound play, Melbourne. JackJumpers were awake to it. Illy couldn't get the shot away. And again, late in the clock, it has to be Illy. There's nothing easy out there at the moment except for that. Nice play from Agata.
Well, the 3 balls deserted them. They're already 0 of 5 in this one. They were 5 of 25, but if you go back to the last game, United have missed their last 18 3-point field goal attempts. Wow. And that's going all the way back to the second quarter, because they were 0 of 9 in the second half. Last one, so they're going through a real dry spell from the 3-point line.
Your arm still comes in first.
There's Clint Steindl, the Tasmania captain.
I'd love to see them run him off a couple of screens and knock down the 3 early. Get this crowd going, get him going.
Didn't get a 3-ball up in game 1.
No, 1 of 3 from the field. And they do have some nice sets for him where he comes off a lot of action.
McIntosh going to work on Hook Porty. Great D from the next stop.
Wow. Body bangers right there.
Ariel Hook Porty is committed to Melbourne United for next season.
I think it's a good decision by Hook Porty. But you speak to some of the NBA guys that think he's not quite ready.
There's Steindl's first look.
There it is.
Now a second look. For 3.
There it is. That crowd's going to get going. Watch and see. If he makes another one, it's over. I'm calling it early.
That is a very early call. But as a shooter, he missed that mid-range one. And look at Scott Roth. You see the emotion. The big fella getting the fans all engaged as well.
He knows how to do it.
But as a shooter, you miss that mid-range and you get lucky and it comes straight back to you. And you're wide open in the corner and can just make that adjustment, knock it down, and that'll do his confidence the world of good.
This start has been electric from Tasmania. 14 on the board is good for them, keeping Melbourne United to 8.
That's unheard of.
Move your feet, show your hands, get to the quarter. Finish the quarter out smartly. Real simple coming down, Jet. When Jet gets around the 3-point line, be patient. I want you high. We'll back screen and rip you. JB, you're coming over the top, and then you're slipping.
Hey, he's hit one, slips are on.
All right?
Slips are on with your screen and click.
Keep your energy up, finish the quarter, guard your yard. Rebound, together, 1, 2, 3.
Chemist Warehouse timeout.
Really good advice by Majet. So what they're running, they're running away for Clint Steindl, and they know they're going to be Steindl conscious. They're trying to take away the 3-ball, and what he was suggesting is just be whoever's setting the screen, get ready to slip. Because if the defense is trailing or they get caught up in the screen and the defender of the screener comes out to help, that slip's going to be on. So good advice by Majet.
Here's Anthony Stewart courtside.
Yeah, guys, got to listen to Dean Beckerman. He's just going at the team about offensive boards. They really got to take business, care of business on the boards, as we spoke about before the game.
It was a big factor for them in game 1. They were able to really get on top of Tasmania in that stat. Steindl got open. Bairstow again working hard. And Shea Illy working just that little bit harder. Tasmania lead by 6. So we tick down to 2 minutes left in the opening quarter. Hook Porty eventually drew the foul from McIntosh.
Yeah, McIntosh, he didn't need to do that. He reached in. He had the position. He was sliding his feet with just the hands that drew the foul. And I tell you what, there hasn't been too many games where, with a few minutes to go, the scores are 14 and 8, and we're saying, this is a great game, highly competitive. They're going at each other, but I love the competitiveness and the intensity of both these teams.
71% free throw shooter this season, Ariel Hook Porty. they love some burgers.
Love them. Go get it. Oh, my. And some, hey, with that, give them burgers and some fries.
Absolutely.
Come on, man.
And a Sunday to finish
What
off.
is that?
A whole meal value you need with that. What? That's just pressure. I mean, Cordy just comes up and throws nothing but air from the free throw line.
That is remarkable.
It's a 72% shooter, free throw shooter, throwing up an ebber.
Bairstow misses Steindl. The play was set. Steindl had left.
In all 4 games that they've played this season, United have scored between 20 and 23 at quarter time. So this has just been an incredible defensive performance.
Illy. Got Peatling involved. He misses. They crashed the glass en masse. McDaniel went after the loose ball and was fouled by Golding.
I know they like to run Golding off screen, but maybe give Golding the ball and let him run a pick and roll because they're switching. Let him switch on a big. Golding's good enough to get to that basket with the ball.
Well, particularly right now when you're struggling to score and the Jack Jumpers are in the bonus, maybe draw a foul, work your way to the free throw line and try and get some scores ticking over that way.
Sam McDaniel, 11 points when they played in round 21 and Tasmania won. He's had some struggles in the other meetings against his former team. 7 and 6 in round 10. 7 when they played in round 5. Misses the second. Brad Newley out there to finish off the quarter. Steiner with the job of chasing Golding around. Illy puts the ball on the floor and finishes off with his left hand.
He's been tough.
And they're making it so hard to distribute the ball. I think you're right, Copes. It just, sometimes you're spreading the floor and just trying to attack the rim off the dribble because there's not a whole lot of help.
Nice finish. Kyle McIntosh has had a little trouble getting himself going in game 1. Had some foul troubles, but that'll be good for his confidence.
But he's certainly a different player than he was when the season started. Because I could have sworn he was on the way out of here.
Great pass. Peatling had Golding backdoor.
And that's another punishment. With the constant overplay, and you can see even on those dribble handoffs, they're really fighting over the top and trying not to let Golding get it. And those back cuts is a good punishment for the overplay defensively.
Illy relocates to the wing. Can't get that to go. He's 0 from 3 after going 2 from 2 in game 1.
And some good looks. A couple of good looks he's had from the three-point line.
McIntosh banging away on hook 40. Quarter time, Tasmania have kept Melbourne to their lowest first quarter score of the season. 17-12. It's exactly the way the Jack Jumpers wanted after 1. Semi-final time in the Hungry Jacks NBL. been a hard-fought opening quarter at MyState Bank Arena. The Tasmania JackJumpers looking to square the series at one apiece. Lead it 17-12, and in doing so, 12 points is the lowest team that lowest score, I should say, that any team has had in the first quarter against Tasmania this season.
Well, outstanding work by the JackJumpers, and you know, someone was just shots not dropping. Give the fans, the JackJumper fans, a little respect in that as well, and that missed by a long way. It might have rattled in, but I can guarantee he wasn't trying to shoot that off the board. And all 12 of their points come from inside the paint. They've yet to make a shot outside the paint.
Jared Weeks out there to start the second quarter. There's 5 to work with on the shot clock. Nice pass. Bairstow finds the cutter in Steiner. Playing a handy little cameo, Jared Bairstow. Dave Barlow also into the game for Melbourne. Illy, 0 from 3 in the opening quarter.
Got to get it up.
Newly from deep. Fresh Tasmanian in air.
Well, there's a nice read by Bairstow, finds Steindl, and good cutting action, constant movement, and it comes his way. Thought he was fouled. 0 of 8 now from the three-point line. That's on the back of 5 of 25 in game 1.
Joe Luala-Chul sitting down at the moment with 2 fouls.
Oh, another great backdoor pass.
Steiner's finding other ways to score.
That is, and again, we talked about him earlier. He gets going, you can open that thing up. It's the defense, though, that surprised me. Dean's got to find a way to get these guys some scores.
Golding, 1 of 5 in the game. Was 1 of 8 from deep in game 1. That's a tough drive.
Tough shot, tough finish.
McIntosh guarded by White. Nice hands from the former Duke captain.
They got Weeks on Barlow. Post him up. He's twice his size. Throw it inside, 4 out. Post him up.
Tasmania has scored the last 4. Sam McDaniel up to 5 rebounds in a pretty short space of time out there.
Hasn't been too many times to see Weeks, but hasn't been too many times throughout this season where we've seen Melbourne United play without Hook Porty or Joe Luala-Chul on the floor.
I think Joe's coming back now.
Steindl sits down, 7 points, and 3 of 6. Josh Adams back in. Tasmania lead 21-12 in game 2 of the semi-final series. Dellavedova had a guard at baseline. The extra pass was a good one for Luala-Chul.
There we go. What's going on there, Gazy?
Not sure what the theme is in the audience tonight, but it's, again, though, penetration and points in the paint. All 14 coming inside the paint.
The Chemist Warehouse timeout. It was the second quarter in game 1 where Joe Luala-Chul got going. Here's Coach Dean Vickerman.
Yeah, so that's just our peak, right? Just throw it in. We got some screen action going away. Back cut over here, all right? No, that was what they just ran down the other end. Hey, whenever we're just going around here, we're not very good right now, all right? Anytime we're putting feet in our paint and seeing receiver spots, we're in really good shape.
And 2 feet, they're all helping in. Guys are stepping up, take charges. People are open. Get in the right places. And get some shadows. I like that.
Yeah, we are in transition. 5 behind your middle on ball just as well as playing off and handoffs. But I want to stay in spin right now, all right? I want to get some great sprint screens and be able to pass out of it and attack. Here we go.
Well, Dean Vickerman reinforcing what they have been doing, and that is getting their feet in the paint and putting some heat on the rim. And Matty Dellavedova chipping in and suggesting that when they're in there, they're collapsing. So spot up and make sure you know where your outlet pass is going to be when it's covered. And we'll get some, for them, easier looks. But Melbourne scored 48 of their 74 points in the paint in game one. And in fact, 3 of United's top 4 paint points percentages have come against Tasmania. So this is not new for this game. It's something that they've really had good value out of, just pounding the paint as Adams comes down and walks into a mid-range.
What they haven't had, though, Drew, is transition baskets. None. They can't get it off the glass and go.
Garner gave a little push-off, got away with it.
The JackJumpers fixed up their rebounding problem. They lead that category 13-8, where they got obliterated the other night in game one.
Kenyon playing his role. Will be on the free throw line. That one's on Dellavedova. Matt Kenyon, 56% free throw shooter across the season.
Not great.
Doesn't fill you full of confidence.
No, you're not happy with that. You're looking, and you want your players to be a lot higher than that. It's not a terrible stroke.
Generally, when you knock that first one down, though,
feel a lot better.
A lot better.
Takes care of business. 25-17.
One guy we haven't mentioned all year, I haven't anyway, is Mick McCona sitting on the bench. I'm sure he's had a lot to do with the toughness of his team, because he's probably the toughest guy I ever played against in my life.
That's spot on. He's certainly see that his influence in the way they're playing. He's also renowned for being a good culture guy and developing things off the floor. So you're right, Coach.
McVeigh gave it up for Kenyon for 3. Got it!
That's what happens when you knock down your 2 free throws. Confidence, bro.
He's feeling good. Let's get to John Casey. He's always feeling good.
Thanks, Jack. I'm feeling good right now because I'm just at the end of the Tassie JackJumpers bench. And to follow up what Coach was saying, Mika Vicona walked down to the end of the bench and was involved in a deep discussion with Nicole McIntosh, just pointing a few things out. He had good support for him, though. It was all positive. He really has had an influence that I think has been a little underestimated this season.
Toughest player you've ever played against, Coach?
Every time I played against him, I'd go home and ice up. Because he was going to get you. He's going to hit you one way or another.
McVeigh misses the walk-up 3. Wallachul up top. Great D from Bairstow. Outstanding.
That was great defense, wasn't it?
You know, but that's a poor shot. It's still got plenty of time in the shot clock. He's penetrating in. They respect the defense. They did a good job. Kick it out, try and get it back. But if they're the shots you're going to settle with, it's hard to see how you're going to be too efficient on the offensive end.
Melbourne pick up their second of the quarter. One on a Garner. There is Mika Vicona. What an impact that he's made on the National Basketball League. Just wins. Just a winner.
Absolutely.
It's clear that, to me anyway, the officiating this game, they're allowing the players to be a lot more physical than what we normally see. Only 13 fouls called between these two teams, 7 to Melbourne United and 6 to the JackJumpers.
McVeigh, top of the key, misses. Delhi trying to get busy at the other end. Stripped of it by Najet. Good hands. They're locked on defensively, Tasmania.
Did Najet just give him a little, how you going with the shoulder there?
Off the inbound, Dellavedova for three.
And Della gave it right back to him. They're going at it.
That's their first three-pointer made. 1 of 10 so far. Like you say, it's hard to think how you could intimidate Matthew Dellavedova with all his experiences playing in an NBA championship winning team. And
right, you got to guard Curry for a series.
And others.
And others. There's nothing on that court intimidating him at all.
Garter with the matchup on Majette. This trip down the floor. He fires. And he's long. That will be another on Melbourne.
Just in a rebounding contest, Barlow shoved McVeigh in the back. They picked that up. McVeigh might have put just a little bit of emphasis on the fact that he got pushed in the back.
Four and a half minutes before halftime. Adams. He's long as well. Loose ball. Falls Melbourne's way, and Dellavedova has Bubba running the floor.
That's outstanding defensive transition. Right there, they had attack. Bubba was there, and they built a wall behind the ball. And unfortunately, they don't come up with it.
Great hustle from Bubba.
It is. If I'm Tasmania, I got the ball in McIntosh's hand, and I'm letting him go one-on-one against Joe Luau to try to get that third foul.
Yeah, and he's been good in this spot here. I think would you mind, that's where they've been having some success with McIntosh. Put him on the elbow and let him rip to the basket.
7 unanswered points for Melbourne. And that's an offensive foul. Momentum's just starting to turn in favour of the visitors.
It certainly is. And
substitute for Tassie, Sam McDaniel, back into the game.
Saw our fellow commentator, Cam Luke, on the sidelines there, and
talked his way into a courtside seat, no doubt.
So how he gets that close to the action.
Not sure he'll be sitting there the whole game, though. He's probably sitting in somebody's chair.
They are feet that should not be on timber at any stage. And McDaniel. Here's McIntosh into the paint, and one.
There we go.
And that's just that transition option. They get down there, and when you're struggling to find points, that tempo, push the tempo. You know, you don't have to force it, but just explore your options early. And that's what McIntosh does. And it's a good little hesitation move. Freezes Barlow. And goes to the line for the N1. They've already whacked up 12 three-point field goal attempts for JackJumpers, 2 of 12. And when you consider the other night, they only had 14 in the entire game. They've at least been able to get a few more off. 2 of 12, though. They need to be shooting better than that.
Illy's been so good in that position, getting in deep and scoring.
He really has been.
8 points on 4 of 8.
Melbourne have a problem, you guys. If you can't get Golden going, I'm telling you now, because other teams are watching. If they're lucky enough to make it to the grand final.
As McIntosh blocks by the Wallachul.
You got to get your best guy going now.
Well, he's 1 of 6, and he's forced up a couple to try and get himself going. And you know, he's played 12 minutes so far in this one.
Could you imagine Drew?
Time on the bench right now.
Imagine Drew 1 for 6 in a game. Boy, you talk about some sooking, he'd be some sooking on the side.
I'm not so sure about that.
Oh, McIntosh, 24% from outside across the season. That's a big hit. Just gives the JackJumpers a little bit of breathing room again. As Deli and Majette continue to go at it off the ball.
That's deep.
Look at that angle.
Oof, wow. Beautiful arc on that shot.
Nothing but net.
And, you know, there's certain things as a coach you're going to live with, and that's probably one of them, because he's shown, particularly the last half of the season, McIntosh, he can put it to the floor and create something. And plus, he probably saw the guy at the scorer's bench getting ready to check in for him. And he said, you know, like in the old under-14s, I know they're coming in for me. I'm going to whack this up regardless.
I got to get this thing up now. Oh, it's funny.
4 fouls apiece this quarter.
Oh, nice D.
Josh Magette. He was stealth the way he stripped Bubba of it. And then to the free throw line himself. Off target. Vidova slips over. Illy. That will be called as a block.
That was a nice move, though, wasn't it, by Shea Illy? You could hear Dean Vickerman in the background. Attack again, attack again. And he does that and works his way in to draw a foul on Sam McDaniel. Talk about getting Chris Golding going. Majette's the other one. He's 0-3. Only had 5 field goal attempts in game 1. Only the 3 here. That last one was a little was forced.
First time tonight that a Tasmanian NBL team playing a final in Tasmania. The only previous Tassie team to play in the finals was the Launceston Casino City in 1981. They played in Adelaide in sudden death, and they won the title. They won the whole thing.
That was the mighty Ian Davies just doing some amazing work for Launceston back then.
It's a huge night, not only for Tasmanian basketball, but for the state of Tassie and sport. They've got such an appetite for more. Bairstow draws one on Dellavedova.
Caught him in the air.
He's going to fall over. Hey, push.
Sure, if they're going to have a look at this to perhaps review. Well, see, this is... They don't even look at that one. If you remember a few weeks ago, Caleb Agata went up and just went to save himself. Yep. And as he's saving himself, tries to grab onto the guy, and they call it an unsportsmanlike foul. Not sure what the difference is there. I understand he's trying to save himself, but...
You can hear him say he's trying to save himself.
Well, that's true, but the same thing happened to Agata a few weeks ago. And they call it an unsportsmanlike.
Bairstow goes 2 from 2. He's +9 in his time out there tonight.
He's on the glass, making good passes.
Golding is fouled in the act of shooting a 3. And the trip to the free throw line, Copes, to shoot 3 might be the thing that gets him going.
Absolutely. You see that ball going in the net, that could easily get you going. This is a stupid foul, though.
Well, that's McDaniel makes the mistake. He was burnt as soon as he goes under, trying to gap that little dribble hand off that screen. They've been doing such a great job of running it off the three-point line by locking and trailing and going over the top. And the minute you don't, you get burnt.
He knows he messed up. Because if you let this guy get going, then it's a different game.
Well, in the first 2 games that they played against the JackJumpers, Chris Golding, he was averaging 54%, including 9 of 17 from long range. But since then, in the last 2 games, it's been... They've had him walking off, mumbling to himself, trying to figure out how he can get a clean look. 3 of 13 in game 1.
Makes all 3. It's a 6-point lead for the JackJumpers. Game 1, it was Melbourne who led at half-time by 5. McDaniel likes it in the mid-range. Not that time. Golding's got Jack White running the floor. Back to 4.
And that's what they haven't been doing, pushing that ball up the floor. They get a stop, they can run. Easy baskets.
Daniel tries his luck a second time. Unsuccessful on both. Garner. Jeez. That was flat. Offensive rebound for Melbourne. Golding and Steindl, two of the competition's best sharpshooters. Golding took it to the rack and lays it up.
That's what I've been asking for right there. Give him the ball, set him a screen, and let him go. Sometimes you have to get yourself going, Julie.
Yeah, most definitely. And they're doing and have been doing a great job of taking that 3 ball away. And that time there, just Steindl doesn't slide his feet and goes straight by him. Help comes, but it's a little late. And you're right, Coach, that looked simple stuff, but with that matchup, they might want to rethink it if they're going to put Chris Golding in ISOs to have Steindl does a great job chasing him and working when he's off the ball, but when it comes to guarding people on the ball, that's probably not where Steindl's strength is at.
A reminder, tomorrow we turn our attention to Game 2 of the semi-final series between Sydney and Illawarra. The call is out to pack the Q.
And when we've been there, when that place is packed, you're talking about loud. It can really get you going. What do we have, 16, 17, 16,000?
Well, they had 13,000 there last week in their last game against the Illawarra Hawks, and it's an amazing atmosphere. And let's hope that they can get another big crowd tomorrow. Why shouldn't they? With the way the Sydney Kings have played this season, they deserve all of Sydney to get out there to Kudos Bank Arena and get behind your team, because they're playing a very attractive brand of basketball. They've got the league MVP, and
wasn't he superb last night, Jalen Adams?
Well, he showed why he's the MVP, didn't he? My goodness, that was a spectacular display, and they're going to need that again. Brian Goorjian coming out after that game saying he was embarrassed about his team's performance, so you can bet that he's going to be inspiring his guy to crank it up on the defensive end.
Melbourne have hit back hard. Late stages of quarter number 2. McVeigh pulls the trigger. That's no good.
That was a 2-for-1, I think. They drew up to try and get a good one. Not a bad look, I suppose. Trying to get McVeigh going. He's only got the 2 points.
They can tie it up or take the lead off this possession. Melbourne United. Hook Porty. Nice pass inside for Dellavedova. The presence of Jack White was enough. Jack McVeigh, I should say. Last possession of the quarter. With the JJs. Majet to the rack. Hook Porty put it into the stands.
Had something to say to him. Give me that. Give me that.
Good read by Porty.
He just put it in his hand, didn't he?
He was off balance and falling over. And then they had a bit of advice for him as well. Oh, Hook Porty comes off limping. That's not a good sign.
And keep an eye on that during halftime. 2.2 seconds for Tasmania. Steindl underneath.
What a great pass.
The points are going to count.
Back door. Specialist.
What a play.
It is. Those opportunities for him, they're doing such a intense job of trying to deny him the ball. That opens up those backdoor opportunities. 1.7 left.
It's Tasmania who lead at halftime. 38-34 on their home floor in front of a sold-out crowd. They've done a lot of things right so far.
It is. They couldn't have asked for anything more on the defensive end. They've done as good as they can, and it's been an outstanding start to the JackJumpers.
Here's Stewie.
Yeah, join with Clint Steindl. Great first half of basketball, playoff basketball. You must feel comfortable with the control you had in that first half.
Yeah, mate. I guess towards the back end of that second, couple long twos gives them momentum to be able to run on us. We need them to play the full clock make them play 24 seconds of defence. I mean, we're getting some good looks and they're coming in the last 5 seconds of that shot clock.
Great job on the boards tonight. I think that was a priority coming in.
Mate, we had to draw a line in the sand. It wasn't good enough in that first game. We said, if we're going to win this, we've got to fix up the boards, we've got to be physical, we've got to crash. I mean, we're just playing with a whole lot of energy using this crowd, and we're just feeding off each other right now.
Yeah, great brand of basketball. Good luck in the second half, Clint.
Here we go. Hey, Delhi, the defence has been good so far. You've restricted them to 38. You're doing a good job at that end of the court.
I think we've given them too many free throws and too many O-boards. If we take away that, I think we'll feel better about the job we've done.
Offense has been a problem here, though. Chris has only hit 1 field goal. Jack White, just 1 field goal. How do you get them going?
Yeah, I think we just got to space the floor a bit more. You know, they're being physical, holding and grabbing. We got to do a better job of making leads, getting the ball moving.
And a quick word, you played in big games all around the world. How's this crowd?
It's awesome. Loving it.
Loving it. Good luck.
38-34, the JackJumpers lead at halftime at MyState Bank Arena. Don't go too far, the halftime show. It's coming up next in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Great to have your company. Semi-final game 2 between Tasmania and Melbourne at MyState Bank Arena. It feels like a playoff game. It's tough, it's intense, and every bucket is hard to come by. The JackJumpers at halftime lead at 38-34.
Well, they do, and it's been a real struggle from the three-point line for both these teams. Collectively, they're 4 of 27. That man's got a beautiful stroke, and you can see the emotion that the JackJumpers are trying to get their fans engaged. And I think the Jack Jumpers, this is perfect for them. This type of game, low scoring, gives them the best chance to cause an upset. And defensively, they've been great. If they can just continue to try and keep the Melbourne United outside of the paint, they've got their 34 points, and the vast majority of those have come from points inside the paint. We look at the top scorers, Shea Ely with the 9, Golding with the 7, a lot of those coming late. Steinel's been good with 9, and McIntosh with 8. And it's the field goal percentage. It's not pretty reading when you look at the field goal percentages, and in particular the three-point percentages, like we said. Rebounding, everything else pretty similar, and the turnovers only 4 to the Jack Jumpers, 2 to Melbourne United, so they're taking care of the ball. So this is just a real war of attrition. They're trying to bang each other, hard to get any sort of continuity and movement with the ball in the half court. And the team that I think can get out, get some cheapies in transition, and even if it transition 3 balls just to try and get some clean looks, I think that's the team that has the best chance to get things going offensively.
Copes, you put a particular focus on Clint Steiner before the game. You said they needed to get him involved, but also he needed to find a way to get involved. He's been fantastic. The captain has 9 points at halftime.
Well, he's a guy who can change a game. And obviously in the beginning of the season, he was their go-to guy coming off that bench. When he knocks a couple of threes down, it gets the crowd going. It gets the team, fires the team up. And as you've seen, their coach, after he knocked that first 3 down, he was up and all about. So I think if you can get him going, keep him going, you give him a chance.
To the other end, Shea Ely's just been elite. In the last month, in the lead up to the playoffs, he was superb, but he's gone to almost another level again in the playoffs.
Oh, most definitely. He's just advanced his offensive game. We know he's an elite defender, if not the best defender in the competition. But his point guard responsibilities, the working to do on the boards, you see there. But this is what's really helped him. His penetration and getting to the rim. He's actually improved his three-point shooting this season. Haven't seen a lot of that in this series just yet. But right there, getting to the rim has been his biggest strength. When they've needed it most, they've needed to find some scoring options, and he stepped up.
Of all of the things that Scott Roth would have spoken to his team at half-time about, Copes, what's the one thing that he would put at the top of the whiteboard? What's the biggest tick for Tassie in the first half?
I think what they have to do is continue to play the tough defense that they've been playing. Now, offensively, they got to look at those back doors. Drury spoke about it. Find easy ways of scoring. Back doors, because Melbourne are overplaying a lot of the offense. Easy baskets, continue to play defense, and we give ourselves a chance.
And I think that the first point you made is you cannot, under any circumstances, let up on the defensive end. You've done a great job. He'd be looking at these numbers and going, hey, fellas, there's not much more we can do. We held him to 1 of 13 from the three-point line. So that has to be the absolute non-negotiable. And then what you do on the offense is just tweaking things here or there, a few more back cuts, those types of things. Maybe look at some transition options.
Half-time at MyState Bank Arena. It's Tasmania leading 38-34. The leading scorer for the Jack Jumpers at the half is Steiner with 9 for Melbourne. Their leading scorer is Shea Ely with 9. The third quarter is not too far away here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Great to be with you at MyState Bank Arena. The Jack Jumpers lead it by 4 as we get set to start the third term. Let's get to Case, who's with Melbourne coach Dean Vickerman.
Melbourne United with their hands full here at the moment. Dean, you were down 11 in that second quarter. 17-8 run to get back into the frame. What changed during that time?
I think we stopped giving up offensive rebounds. Their effort on the glass night has been outstanding. I think 13 second chance points, so we slowed that one down a little bit. They did do a great job of guarding the three-point line tonight. We're 1 of 12. Hopefully we can loosen up and get some better shots there, but we're scoring out of attacking the paint and cutting, so hopefully we find some pace as well in the second half. It's hard to get a cheap one in this playoffs.
And how's the disco tonight? It's loud. This crowd is into it.
I got some dance moves for you.
Good on you, Dean. Thanks.
I'd like to see that.
Oh, he's a bit loose, though, Dino. That's it's good to see him having a bit of a chuckle. There's not a lot of difference between this game and game one when you look at the style of play and the way these two teams are going about it. The biggest difference as far as why the margin is not in Melbourne United's favour, in that game one, they smashed him on the boards. And this one here, it's dead even. It's 17 apiece.
Well, you go back to game one, Drew, and it was the third quarter where Melbourne did the damage. They outscored Tasmania 21-7 and set the game up.
Yeah, and in a low-scoring game, that is a big, big difference in that one quarter.
Chris Levick back out there. Adams turns the corner. That's short. Illy threw it back in onto the legs of Adams.
You're smart. I'm going at Joe Luau-Archul straight away. Try to get that third foul. Get him on the bench.
Well to play through that second quarter without giving up another.
Yeah. Well, at the very least, have a think about the decisions they've got to make in regards to Joe Luau-Archul, who's only got the 5 points. 2 of 4 from the field.
You know he's coming.
The Jet has Kenyon running the floor. Adams gets the switch, guarded by White.
Nice pass.
Extra one as well for Chris Levick.
The 2 extra ones there.
That won't please Dean Vickerman. Tassie on a mini 6-0 run right now. Dellavedova dumps it inside for Luau-Archul.
As I say, he's coming.
And that was a good play. A little Spain action from the wing. And you saw the really good screen by Chris Golding. Comes and whacks his man, and with that switch to the height advantage, good play.
The Jet 0 from 4 in the first half. Look at how difficult Dellavedova's making life, but Jet finds a way.
That's a tough shot.
First field goal of the game for the Alabama native.
They go back to the same action, and they get the same result.
That'll be an unsportsmanlike.
You heard Scott Roth on the sideline yelling out, Spain, Spain. He could see it coming again, and they don't make the adjustment. And it's a tough play to guard when you've got an elite shooter setting that back screen. Any sort of help on the cutter, you've got Golding coming out for the 3-ball.
But you got to put some pressure on the pass.
Correct.
You can't just let a guy stand there and pick you up.
Yeah. Ball pressure is the thing that can help you out in those circumstances. You're spot on, and that was too easy. And not only do they get the foul, it's an unsportsmanlike and 2 and possession.
Luau-Archul goes 1 of 2.
They've left a few out there, 6 of 10 from the free throw line.
Been a problem for them. They're the worst free throw shooting team in the competition, Melbourne. 71% across the season. It's a stat you wouldn't expect from a team like this. Here's Golding. 2 of 8 in the game. Adams waits for the cutter in McVeigh. Too tough to score over the top of the outstretched arms of Luau-Archul. Strips. Majet took it away and then pulls up.
Take another dribble, son. He's got to pull it
He did. That was...
Can't believe he did that.
There's 3 ball to pull up for the 3. Okay, that's a decision, but
when there's nobody in front of you,
there's a metre and a half behind the 3-point line.
He shot it from the dirt. It's out of play. Shot clock beat them regardless.
And that's just...
Even on that one, sorry, Drew, is it just a case of that he looks up and sees that Delhi's not there? Is that?
Oh, it's just also a case to think that, well, I'm struggling to get a shot off. I made that one previously that was a tough one over Delhi. Here I am in transition like we were talking about at half time, and he lets it fly, but if you're going to let it fly, he thought that he could take another dribble.
White muscles his way in. Good finish.
Slowly see Melbourne's experience coming on board. A couple times they've gone to Big Joe. White's penetration.
Right. Over the top of Jack White. That is tough.
And that is huge. And you can see why it's hard for Melbourne United to get any rhythm, because Jack Jumpers selective with their shots. They get into the half court. Very rarely they're taking shots until at least it gets under the 10-second mark.
Lila Chul out for Golding.
Wow.
0 from 5 from deep. The man who's made more threes this season than any other player in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
He won't stop shooting. That's what I love about him. He'll make one eventually.
And there's his man at the other end hurting him, Matt Kenyon.
It's not just Chris Golding who needs to make it. They're 1 of 16 from the 3-point line. Melbourne United.
That has to be a record, isn't it? That's close. This time, this year.
Hands from Krislovic. The help comes on the Lila Chul. Excellent work, Tasmania.
It is. You can sense that they're feeling it. They're feeling it. They're grinding it out. This is very much a Tasmania JackJumpers style of game that they are trying to impose on this one, and they've been successful because of what they're doing on the defensive end. Melbourne United, percentage-wise, #1 3-point shooting team in the competition.
34% across the season.
And they've held them to 1 of 16.
Lila Chul off the floor. Hook Porty back out there. Krislovic sets a good pick for Adams. Showing all the party tricks and then forgot about the basketball. Golding.
There it is.
This time it goes.
It's always going to come. You can't give him that many looks without him knocking one down.
He's into double figures. Only one of 2 players in the game to have 10 points and an offensive foul, a moving screen on Krislovic.
And here it is. It comes in what we're talking. It comes in transition. And wide open Chris Goulding. He's going to take that because he knows how hard it is to get free in the half court. And Krislovic didn't need to do that. Jumps out. His intention is good. Just trying to create some space. Matthew Dellavedova trying to show a little bit of emotion to engage his team as well. There you see the foul trouble. Krislovic picks up his 4th.
That's a problem for them. No Will Magnay. They've been missing him for the final third of the season. They're up 5. Adams into the paint. Left-handed layup doesn't go. Garda quickly to the other end. It's called a block.
Have a look at McIntosh. That's a close one. That angle probably just didn't quite get there.
Bairstow coming back in. McIntosh now with foul troubles of his own, Drew.
Yeah, he's picked up his 3rd.
Bairstow was very good in the time out there in the first half.
That's what you cannot do if you think you're going to make it game 3. You can't give that guy an open look.
They're so good off the inbound play from the baseline.
They are very good at it.
Golding, the leading scorer in the game. Matt Kenyon, the leading scorer for the Jack Jumpers with 10. Here he is, feeling confident. Laying flat on his back, he found a way to get it to Bairstow.
Score count. I think they're just going to call a stop to the game to tidy up the sweat on the floor. And they had to, it's not like they wanted it, they scripted it that way, but just the chaos ball just rolling around, bobbles out. Dave Barlow and Jack McVeigh in a wrestling match underneath the basket that goes unwhistled, and ultimately it opens up a window for the easy 2 for Bairstow.
Tasmania's biggest lead in the game was 28-17. From that point, Melbourne started to make some inroads. Barlow, the fine for Hook Porty, excellent. He was fouled. It was a late whistle.
That play's been on every time they run.
Well, that time there was not bad ball pressure. They're hard showing on those screens, so the roll. So you see Bairstow, he comes out and hard shows, but then it's
somebody's got a bump.
Well, he's there, McDaniel, but then he's just reading it and just gets over. He's got to stay connected a little bit more with Hook Porty. You can see he was concerned about also closing out on the perimeter.
Passes away, he's got to stay connected. Hook Porty.
Not a bad foul in the end. We saw Hook Porty throw up an air ball in that first half and send him to the line rather than just accept the easy 2 with a dunk. Good solid foul.
Puts the Jack Jumpers fans back in their seats. Sell out at MyState Bank Arena. We've said that just about every home game for the season. Tassie basketball fans have been amazing in their debut season.
Foul on Barlow, just wrapped his arms around McVeigh. A little Uno action at Hungry Jacks. Nice little pickup.
You like Uno, do you?
Don't mind the Uno.
Are you good?
I even like it more if free burgers are on offer. Whatever your fries or whatever the gifts are coming. 1 in 4 wins. That is just our man Jack Cowan and Hungry Jacks. The gift that just keeps on giving.
They're too good.
Tasmania is just playing stupid basketball right now. Making a lot of mistakes.
We're both on the side of the floor. We're not looking at it.
Let's have another look here.
Oh dear, after all the stuff that's been going on during the game, all the pushing and shoving, they find that one?
And now Adams has got 3 fouls. It's becoming a big problem for the home team. Golding
not again.
It's becoming an even bigger problem for them.
It's an issue. As in the first half, they were locking and trailing, staying connected. He's just only needs a step of separation, and he's the best in the business in the NBL of knocking those ones down.
We spoke about it. If they had any chance at all, they had to continue to play the same defense they played in the first half, and that's not happening.
Well, Jack McVeigh took a bump on the elbow and scores.
It's a huge basket in the context of what's happening. Melbourne United tied up with Chris Golding. You see, and again, McDaniel trying to go underneath. What?
And he should know more than anybody. He played with him.
Just a bad defensive decision by McDaniel. That's twice he's gone under, and he fouled Golding on the 3-point line in the first half. Now, maybe the rules, maybe I'm not understanding their rules, but look like they've been locking and trailing on everything. I don't think you can try and shoot that gap off the ball on those staggered screens.
Especially not now when he's made 3 in a row.
Well, not if you're not going to switch out on it, that's for sure.
And if you're smart, you should be looking for him every time now. Because when he's hot, he's hot.
Too physical on the box out. Points count.
Points are going to count for Golding. But Nawala Chul has picked up his 3rd.
Right. for 2 team fouls, so they're going to go back. And that's what happens when you start overplaying. Comes in, and look underneath the basket. We see Joe Lua. Oh, dear. I'm not sure that's a foul either. In the context of everything we've seen going on.
It's D from Agata. Made life tough for McDaniel. He pulls up in transition. Bang!
Well, this is the difference. The 3 ball has come alive for Melbourne United.
They were 1 for 11.
They're 1 of 16.
1 of 16, sorry.
And now they're 4 of their last 5.
Josh, I've got to signal the foul.
They've knocked down.
3 points
now
count.
5 of 21.
Green 21 on the box out. We have white ball. Bonus 0. We've got 2 shots coming towards you. That's exactly what I told him on the box out with Sam on the play before, where he boxes out just as physical. Okay?
Senior official Chris Reid talking to Josh Majette. Pretty measured explanation.
Pretty straightforward.
You can sense your body language, Copes. You're not happy with what you're seeing with the JackJumpers.
Well, I just thought, I know you're going to get tired, but even if you're not making shots, you can continue to play the defense that got you where you are. And they let themselves down by giving Booling these open shots.
Melbourne have scored the last 6. McVeigh.
That's tough. Tough and big in the context of how this game's unfolding.
That's better defense. They cause a turnover. McDaniel pounces. Layup doesn't go. Bairstow riding shotgun puts it in. Back to a 1-point game.
There we go.
We tick up to 90 seconds before 3-quarter time. The Wallachul. Impossible to stop in that situation.
Just a much easier play this half than it was the first half.
Jet looks for Steindl with a hand in the face. That's off the front of the iron. Agata comes up with it and spins away. Surveys the floor and goes himself.
That's what they weren't getting in that first half. Pushing up on the floor. Easy baskets. Transition, yeah.
Transition baskets.
11 points on the back of 16 in game 1 for Caleb Agata. And the Jet from deep. Yes!
Well, every time you think that it's going away Melbourne United, the JackJumpers have come up with some huge baskets.
59 each, and the Wallachul puts a foot on the line. Here's Josh Majette, Copes. Dellavedova off the floor.
He likes to shoot it deep, doesn't he?
We didn't hesitate on that one.
7-second differential between game and shot clock.
Get a score, get a stop.
Tasmania to take the lead.
What a foul to give. I'm not sure they intentionally were trying to get that foul, because now it's only going to leave them 5 seconds or so for Melbourne United to get another look.
Dave Barlow just leaning in and taking a listen.
Just wanted to know what's going on.
That's an extra move, isn't it? It's not his first rodeo, Coach.
No, sir.
14 on the shot clock for the JackJumpers. Majette flips it over his head. McVeigh up top. It's short.
Shot that too early, didn't it?
Time for United. Caleb Agata to be the man. Offensive rebound, Peatling, but Barlow couldn't get it up in time. dead level with a quarter to play in Game 2 of the semi-final series. 59 each. We're set for a thriller at MyState Bank Arena. Don't go too far. We're going to final level here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. We couldn't have scripted it any better. Three-quarter time, scores locked away at 59 each. 25 points scored in that third quarter by Melbourne. It's their highest scoring quarter of the 19 that they've played against Tasmania. They've hit back United. They're back in the game.
It is, and a lot of that courtesy of Chris Golding. Golding, in the last two games, he's had 2 and 9. He had 11 in that quarter, and for a total of 18. So he got himself and Melbourne United going.
And that's what I've been saying. If you get this guy scored 50 points in a game one time, Drew. Anybody that can get 50, to me, he's my offensive guy. So if you get him going,
oh dear,
everyone else gets going.
Or you could just do that.
That's right.
Well, that was a tough shot. Shot clock running down, and Garda good enough to knock down the through ball.
Basket's not going to count.
Look at Agata. Here's McDaniel closing out. Really contested. Does everything you possibly could under those circumstances. But sometimes good offense beats good defense. Actually, most of the time, good offense beats good
most of the time, Julie.
I'd be stunned if you two thought any different.
I know. I don't know. What do you think about it?
Steindl on the move. Nice finish. The skipper's up to 11. Only the second jack jumper into double figures. Matt Kenyon the other with 10. Spread it around. Dellavedova. Hands off to White. Tasmania will live with Jack White.
I'll let him take it every time.
Bairstow. Some big minutes for him to play. Weeks doesn't get that one to stick. Melbourne United, the best fourth quarter team in the competition this season. Tasmania, the worst in the competition this season.
They've shared their minutes around, so they're going to be fresh.
He's going up.
McVeigh walks it up the floor. JackJumpers trail by 1. McDaniel, little two-man game with Bairstow. Might have copped a sneaky little nudge from Dellavedova. Garda's got White underneath.
Tough. That was a great pass. They're playing 5-on-4 for a fair chunk of that possession, and they were able to eventually find the mismatches. And just a good break for Chris Golding and Joe Lawal. You can see them getting ready to check back into this fourth quarter.
McVeigh from the Bunnings warehouse logo.
Never die, huh? They just won't die.
There's a little bit of a prayer. That was deep.
Ties it away at 64. 7 minutes to play in game 2. White this time top of the key. It doesn't go. Woodporty knocked it back to the advantage of Steindl. As the JackJumpers look to get the lead back. McVeigh, same spot, same result.
Almost, when you say same spot, literally identically. It was the identical spot to that last one, and just knocks it down, and that could be offensive.
Sometimes he can try to do too much.
Well, this is just a momentum feeding off the fans, and here's McVeigh, the step back. That is deep. Got to carry a hand. Look, Porty there just with the hand down, and the very next possession, same spot, same result.
Look at the fans going, wow.
Chemist Warehouse timeout at 67-64 at My State Bank Arena. Back-to-back threes from Jack McVeigh. Here come Tasmania Copes.
We spoke about it. Look, he's been their angel all year. The way he goes about it, just look, momentum building. Get the fans going. 2 fantastic threes to get that lead back.
Melbourne, they're about to sub Chris Golding and Joe Lawal back in. They look a little stagnant to start this last quarter.
The way Goulding played in that third quarter, he wouldn't have come off for me. He'd still be in the game right now. I don't know why he needed a break, because what did he have, 11, 12, and 11 points in that third quarter. He was on fire, and he got himself going, and he got the team going, so he literally brought him back himself.
Tasmania lead it by 3 out of the Chemist Warehouse timeout. Jack McVeigh, 15 points on 6 of 11 from the field.
And almost identical for that. That's basically what he had last game. He was 6 of 10 from the field, had his 15 points, but he did it early in game 1. And you can see how dangerous he can be if given some space from the three-point line.
How do they get Josh Adams going late?
They got to be smart. Get him coming off a couple of screens. Get him going to the basket. Let him switch on a big. Get the hop, pick and roll. No.
Well, it went right down. You look at the shot clock there. He let that go with probably 3 seconds to go.
You did say no.
I said no, not another one.
But I like the fact that he'd made a couple.
Yep.
And they went through their action, a lot of dummy action, just to get the ball, end up with McVeigh for a shot.
Kyle McIntosh back into the game. Golding long. Some contact in the rebounding contest.
Ring 9, hold.
It's going to be on McVeigh. And Coach, I think you're right. When you look at Chris Golding and what he did, struggling in the last couple of games, gets going in that third quarter, and they decided to leave him off to get that break. And
what break? Why?
Gully off the inbound.
Well, that's a standard play. They got that in the first quarter. That little step in. must have had a toe on the line, I guess.
It's gone down as a 2. McIntosh bodies in. Luala-Toole blocks the shot. White got a little out of control, and Tasmania can get it back. Adams, 2 of 7 for the night, has spent the entire evening being harassed by Shea Ili.
Now you see how they switched on that. If I'm Adams, I'm calling up whoever
you want to go
Joe's guarding and go at him and get to the basket.
Dellavedova pulls the trigger. That's short as well.
Hey! 79.
79.
And the Jet, their floor general, calls the play. McIntosh is going to have to boot it back out. Good look for McDaniel. It's still Tasmania by 1. Both teams just having a little trouble scoring these last couple of minutes.
Oh, circus shot.
What a game Shea Ili's having.
It is, and
what a season he's having.
That was a lucky one, though. Comes in the traffic and just flips it up and gets the lucky break that falls in.
And Melbourne back in front. Another lead change in this game.
There you go. Now get.
There's Adams, off balance 3.
That's the beauty of someone like Joe Luala-Toole. He can gap him and still contest that shot, but that's the one you get the switch, and maybe you better serve attacking him rather than settling for that 3.
And Golding at the other end. That's deep. Offensive rebound, White. Melbourne happy to absorb a bit of time. Luala-Toole, feet set. 6 of 30 from outside tonight, Melbourne.
There's genuine fatigues kicking in here. That's why I think Dean Vickerman was keen to give a couple of his guys a break to start this fourth.
And Josh Adams is going to come to the bench, as is Josh Majette. A timeout called with 3:23 remaining. Let's get down to Stewie.
Yeah, absolute grind down here. I tell you what, if they go to game 3, there's going to be some tired bodies. It's going to be an interesting result on Monday. Who gets through that game?
And the JackJumpers down 1. We're going to head into the Melbourne United timeout as Dean Vickerman makes his way in now.
Barlow's in! Right now, for 1. Yep. Zipper! 1! You gotta get open, Silly! Barlow, you got the pin down! Through the corner! CG, go over the top and zone! Hard into this! As you're coming off, CG, leave that one early! Set it and get out of there right now! Pull back in that hole, CG! Come on, defense!
It looks like the destination's going to be for CG43 in the play that they're drawing up.
Or Barlow. I think he said something about Barlow stepping up.
Yeah, well, but that's more just they're going to have a go screen by the look of it. Couldn't quite see the board. I don't think we're allowed to show the board, are we? But based on what we're there, that all of that, unless something really presents, that's pretty much dummy action at destination. Ooh, really gets hit in the hip.
Oh! Adams and Shea Ili getting caught up. No whistle. Officials letting them play that time. Clock down to 4.
Going up and going in.
Ili drives.
Shot clock violation.
A win for Tasmania.
They just blew that play up with their physicality and their pressure. And you heard Dean Vickerman say, just get open, Ili. He couldn't. He slipped over 3 times and wasn't able to get open and blew the play up.
Now, I got Barlow in the game. Whoever Barlow's guarding, bring him up, let him set a screen, and go at him. Because we know Barlow's a great defender, but he's not quick on his feet.
No, I hear, and it's a big assignment for him to be guarding McVeigh, who's knocked down a couple of threes, but McVeigh can also put it to the floor and get to the cup.
McIntosh sets a big pick for Majette. Wow. It finishes off with his right hand.
That's what they got to do. Get to that basket.
Jack Jumpers lead by 1. 2 minutes 30 remaining at a sold-out MyState Bank Arena. If Tasmania are successful, we're back on Monday at John Cain Arena to decide the winner. Delhi. Floater doesn't go. Luala Chul came crashing in. He doesn't get it to stick.
It's funny how people say how tired they're going to be in a 40-minute game.
No, that's true.
Playing 48 3 games in a row.
But, Coach, these guys are going at it. This is a real physical slog that we've seen. Oh, dear.
Josh Majette! Huge hit!
There we go. Big 3.
Timeout, Melbourne. Jack Jumpers up 4. 2 minutes left.
That is huge. 4 of 9. He's up to 10 points. He's had the going really tough. And that time there, Delhi just gets hung up on the screen. Had some space to go over the top. Gets there late. And Majette, nothing but caught.
Didn't look like this. Wow.
4 of 9 for Josh Majette. He's had his struggles getting himself going. That's enormous. Jack Jumpers fans love it. Here's Scott Roth.
You got to go gang rebound. We're far away. We're changing it.
Hey, we still got 3 to give. If you get separation, push it down.
To the corner. To the corner. Back. You're in it. You're in the 9. I'm 4 away. All right? Together. 1, 2, 3 together. Yay. You're on your way.
Let's get up out of our seats.
Josh Majette vocal in that timeout.
But made a good point again. He's got some game smarts about him. They've only got the 1 team foul. And he's saying if you're going to get that separation, just use a shove. Be prepared to waste a foul rather than give up an open jumper.
Smart.
The twists and turns of this game have been phenomenal. It's been a scrap, it's been a fight, but it's been intense. What do these two have left for us?
Can't go under the screen.
Barlow's pass almost intercepted. Golding. Foul.
Did he kick his feet?
You might have a challenge. This might be one that you might want to be careful, Josh Adams. You don't want to compound this with a technical, and they're going to challenge it, I think.
This will be a very interesting coach's challenge.
They've got a good claim. They've got a really good claim.
Yeah.
He goes by him, and it's the leg kick out. Gee, this is going to be an injury. He definitely kicked his leg out, but that's kind of when you.
That's his shot, though. But
a little bit, particularly when you're fading away, your leg just normally comes out. But I think they're a sneaky chance to get this one, the Jack Jumpers.
It's been a contentious rule all season, this one.
Man, if I'm at home, I want that call.
He's going by, and it's only the leg that he collects when he's running by.
Yeah, absolutely.
This will give us a really good look.
You know, technically the leg's kicked out, so to me, I think it might get reversed.
Well, what do you think, Copes?
Listening to Drew's so wrong all the time. So I'm going to say.
No, that's true.
I was going to say probably not.
Well, I don't want to say I'm wrong. I'm saying others don't agree with me.
There you go.
Others that are making the decision.
Tassie fans are sitting at home going, Drew, you said it's going to be overturned. Don't get excited yet.
And they're taking, you can tell by the time, they're really having a good look at this. And this is a real tough one. So if I'm in the booth and I'm overturning it. That's Mike.
It's a massive moment in the game right now.
It is.
Huge. It's the difference between Chris Goulding being on the line for 3.
Correct. And I assume it'll be a jump ball.
Yep.
Charlie Junt's successful.
Sorry, guys, just move aside, please.
Chris wants his time.
Coach's challenge is successful. The call on the floor is council.
Oh, it is.
We have a jump ball. The coaches...
Well done, Gary.
I
don't believe the referees would have got out of there if they'd called it in a different way.
I think it's a...
So the definition from the replay centre, and we appreciate them turning this around quickly, the defender wouldn't have touched Chris if Chris didn't put his legs in.
That was 100%. It was clear.
He tried to run right past him, yes.
So instead, we have a jump ball.
That Melbourne won anyway. Clint, no 3 free throws.
90 seconds remaining. Goulding got away from his defender this time and misses. White back out on the floor. Crashes the offensive glass. It's a Melbourne ball.
Great hustle, Jack White.
Let's get to John Casey.
Jack, really emotional in the Jack Jumpers huddle there during that timeout. Scott Robb, after he drew up the play, he pulled all his players in tight and said, guys, this is what you spent the whole year working for. It's come down to death. Let's go and get it.
It's theirs if they want it. Just taking a quick look at the out-of-bounds call.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if they win this game tonight, the party in Tasmania?
Imagine the amount of Willie Smiths that'll be drunk tonight.
Oh, my God. Boy, I'm missing it. I'm missing it.
Tasmania blow up that inbound play. Clock down to 7. McDaniel got a hand on it.
It's down to 5. This is real intense
Be
defense.
smart here. No fouls. Just carry your hand. If he makes it, he makes it. But you cannot foul here.
Inspiring defense by the Jack Jumpers. Everyone committed. Nothing easy.
Switch everything.
Joe!
What a pass. What a pass.
Brilliant from Dellavedova.
Great pass.
Great play call as well. This has to be perfect. Beautiful call. Well read by Delhi. And could not get more perfect for Joe Lawala-Chul. Junior.
Wish I had a guy to pass that good. If it worked.
Or pass it all.
That's great.
The Jet in the final minute of game 2. His team lead it by 2.
He's smart.
McVeigh drives. Little drop off for McIntosh. It goes.
And one. Or trouble. Was it and one?
And one.
Wow. Let the whistle go.
Have a look at this. Oh, you're kidding.
Well, they don't have a coach's challenge left, Melbourne. They pushed that chip in early.
Gee whiz, that's great play by McIntosh. Not sure he should be on the line for this bonus.
To make it a 5-point game. Does. Now it's Melbourne's turn to answer. Tassie have fouls to give, and they're happy to do that.
Got to be careful, though. Hard foul.
Well, it does, and plus, you're also trying to eat into this clock. If they get back into their half court, this stops any sort of transition. But it didn't look like there was, really had it contained anyway. Probably didn't need that one. But like you say, still had fouls to give.
It's only Majet's first.
Got one more as a team to give.
Fans on their feet. Riding this one all the way to the end. Lawala-Chul puts the ball on the floor and is going to be fouled by McIntosh. That's their 4th.
Foul is spring 0.
And that will be Mikhail McIntosh's 4th foul too.
Don't want anything now by either of these teams, and they're going to be shooting free throws.
So Illy and Adam going at it.
Dellavedova to inbound.
Don't forget, we're under 2 minutes, so just be smart. We're under 2 minutes, so be smart with your defense.
Great D from Majet. Delhi from deep. Short, offensive rebound, White, and the jam. (72-75). Melbourne need a stop.
Do a smart shot here. Don't.
Majet has McIntosh rolling to the cup. Scores!
Wow.
Timeout.
Timeout, Melbourne. Mikhail McIntosh, halfway through this season, was potentially on a plane out of Tasmania.
Oh, he was on the way to the airport, brother. Trust me.
He scores. He'll be flying up the front to Melbourne on Monday.
That's right. Oh, wow.
Five-point lead to Tasmania.
Melbourne United, they'll advance the ball, and they'll be drawing up something where they're going to be looking for a three ball.
A quick three.
Now, with the situation here in the foul shooting of Tasmania, you can also, as long as a quick 2 or 3, you still can play the foul game and the free throw game. And that is just a good play. Comes in good control. And McIntosh has the smaller guy on him. And again, great pass. I mean, that takes courage in that context of the game to make that pass. Had to get it over
in the lane with hands.
That stretched arms of Matthew Dellavedova. And the last thing you want to do here is foul with three-point shooting. You want to be able to contest the three ball, come up with the offensive boards, and you should be okay to make your reservations to Melbourne.
Monday night at John Cain Arena. The venue is booked for Game 3. What a night it's been. What a game it's been.
Didn't start off that way, but wow.
Well, it's a game that we respect the intensity. We suspect that right here that Chris Golding's going to be a big part of what they do.
Wallachul trying to get in deep for the quick score. Misses off the tip in. Ball bouncing around. Adams comes up with it. He's going to walk to the other end of the floor to book Tasmania's spot in Game 3.
It is, and they really had to weather momentum going against them in the third period. Oh, I don't think they didn't call a foul. I think they just called a jump ball on that one. So timeout Tasmania. They're going to use this timeout to advance the ball as well.
You know what I'm wondering? What kind of dance is Roth going to have at the end of this one? Because he's dancing.
He's a chance to break down. He's an emotional man, the Tasmania coach.
I reckon they need to. They've earned the right to dance as they see fit, because this has been an outstanding performance by the JackJumpers, and there it is. They call a jump ball
based on that.
I think it was the first one, the jump ball with Illy, and he just couldn't hear the whistle. Scott Roth, he wanted a hands foul. I don't think it's going to matter as long as they can make this inbounds pass.
Even if they can't, I think this one's over.
We've seen stranger things happen, but it would be strange.
They're almost there, and he knows it. They were blown apart in the third quarter in game one. You could be forgiven for thinking it would have been impossible for them to come back from that. Here they are, 48 hours later, on the verge of pushing this to 3.
That was well played. You know, Steindl, he cut to the corner there. With that size advantage, you just throw it up to him.
There's going to be heaps of Tasman.
The quick inbound is going to take care of it. And there's a late foul on Dellavedova. So these 2 free throws to come for Josh Magette will be the start of the party.
It is, and Melbourne United will look back on this one. There'll be a lot of things that they'll break down, but the thing that really sticks out is the 6 of 33 from the three-point line.
No way to polish that up.
And you know, a lot of that in this one, sometimes you just shoot it poorly and just have bad nights, but that 6 of 33 is because of the intensity that the JackJumpers have brought on the defensive end.
Magette makes both. We're headed to game 3, and the Cinderella story has one more chapter to be written.
There are going to be plenty of flights coming from Tasmania to Melbourne on the week, early in the week.
All season long, they've been told that they couldn't. They spent the entire season defying the odds. And we go to Melbourne in a couple of days' time to sort it out in game 3.
It is, and what an atmosphere, what a game, and just great stuff by the JackJumpers.
Unbelievable scenes. Let's get to John Casey.
Thanks, Jack. Scott Rock, congratulations. That's one hell of a fight from your team.
They got a lot of fight. I don't know what to tell you. They got a lot of fight.
You called that coach's challenge on the 3-ball from Chris Golding. Were you sure you had it right?
No. I'm about 1 for 10 this year, so that might be the only one I got right.
How did you turn that rebounding count around? They hammered you on the boards in game 1. You came out here and did the job.
Well, we've been gang rebounding in general the last 20 games, and it's the reason why we won 15 of the last 20. And they just outworked us in Melbourne. They're a hell of a team. It's just one game, but super proud of everything. What a place, huh?
It's outstanding work. The big question is, how do you win game 3?
Well, let's just cherish this one for right now, and we'll see what happens.
Enjoy it. Thank you.
Incredible stuff.
Emotional stuff.
And emotional stuff. There's our Foot Locker player of the game. You talk about emotion. He got them going early, and then he played a role late.
I've been speaking about this guy the entire year. Now, I know contractually it didn't work well in Adelaide, but how do you lose a guy at this age with this much ability, enthusiasm for the game?
He does.
It's a plus for him. It's a pickup.
He plays with a smile on his face, and in the context of this one, those 2 3-balls, deep 3-balls, were crucial.
We're going to come back and wrap it up after this. We're headed to 3 between United and the JackJumpers. An incredible night of finals action here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. The Tasmania JackJumpers win Game 2. They're the first brand new expansion team to win an NBL playoff game in their first season. And they do it the hard way, 79-72.
Well, it was hard for both these teams. It was a real struggle offensively, mainly because both of them, the intensity displayed on the defensive end was outstanding by both these squads. And at the end, it was just the JackJumpers being able to come up big with some baskets in that fourth quarter. Chris Golding, he got it going in that third, had 11 points, and you just felt that they were slowly wearing him down. And then Jack McVeigh, he steps up. 2 from the identical spot. Huge play, and this 3 by Majet extends the lead to 4. And it was uphill from then on for Melbourne United. And full credit to the JackJumpers. You sense it. I love the emotion in Scott Roth in that post-game interview with Case. You can see how proud he is and the emotion kicking in. Golding with those 18, but 0 in the fourth quarter. Agata with 14. McVeigh huge with his 15, and McIntosh, well, like you said, Coach, there was a guy that most people had written off, but now he's 1 win away from going to a grand final series. The shooting percentages for Melbourne United are well below where they needed to be, particularly from the three-point line, which we highlighted. They eventually started to fight back on the rebounding count and won that area. And the turnovers exactly the same. They're not on your screen, but both teams had 9 turnovers. So it was a even tussle right across the board, and just a little bit better shooting for the JackJumpers gets them over the line.
Second lowest score of the season tonight for Melbourne United. Their lowest was when they played Tasmania in round 20. And Copes, it sets it up for a cracker to finish off the series on Monday night.
Monday night is going to be on fire. Now, you know, Melbourne United have played some solid basketball throughout the year. I just think they got to go to Goulding, get him going early. As you've seen that third quarter, he got going, he sat down, and it was hard to get going again. You got to have an identity offensively. I know they play defense. You need someone you can go to, and they got to go to that guy.
They're going to be nervous. What they saw tonight, they know that they're in for an incredible battle. It's going to be a war out there. Their valve's going to be a little tight. A little tight going into this one. Jeez.
So that's coming up Monday, the 2nd of May. Tickets are about to be available. And, of course, tomorrow, don't forget, Game 2 in the series between Sydney and Illawarra at Kudos Bank Arena. That game from 3 o'clock. But, of course, as always, please check your local guides. On behalf of John Casey, Anthony Stewart, Drewy and Copes, and our team behind the business who are that far ahead of everyone else, it's not funny. Thanks for being with us tonight. We're going to see you tomorrow for Game 2 between the Kings and the Hawks.
It's game time and I'm up one. Name something I ain't done. Name a body that's my type. Air Jordan, I'll take flight. I'm next level, I'm franchise. I'm top tier, I'm that guy. I'm the man of the year. I'm a man with no fear. I think like I'm a shark. The way I move so sharp. I go hard for the team. That's how I play my part. I'm solid like the foundation. I'm dedicated to greatness. I always knew I would win. Now let the games begin.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jacks and Bunnings Warehouse.
I think that's a thicker one.
Hey, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You got me there, Pat. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello, Hub. Hello, Hub. Hello, hello. Good evening and welcome to My State Bank Arena. Hello, 1, 2, 2, 2.
No, we can't, but I can. I'm in the room. So you want them angled up, did you say? Oh, put it in front of the chairs. Yeah, so I think it's another load improvement into the comms tonight. You're harder in here than you normally are. Right, you all good? It's not in the grip.
Other ones won't know where it is. She didn't know where anything was.
I love that code because I know where it comes from.
yourself when you're not asking a question. We've got Dean Vickerman and Matthew Delavedova coming in shortly from Melbourne United. Roy Ward, I'll let you kick off when they're in here.
G'day Dean, g'day Dolly. Dean, what's your thoughts on the game and how it all panned out tonight?
You know, the physicality they came out with the first quarter was, you know, was another level, something similar to, you know, the way we played at home, and tough to, you know, get a really good look. You know, we still hold them to 17, but, you know, we were struggling to get points in that, you know, the back half of that first quarter. And then I thought once we went up a level, you know, and stopped them getting some offensive rebounds and the second shots that they were putting in, and you know, they were much better in that area tonight than the other night as well. And we kind of have that even contest to me at halftime, and we made our way back. We found some offensive sets that were pretty good, and Delhi did a good job of getting us organised, and that, you know, the three ball wasn't good for us. I think we were 1 of 12 at the half, and so it was about trying to find ways to free up the perimeter, and yeah, we found a set that was pretty good for it. Get to you know, that last 5 minutes of the game, and McVeigh makes 2 tough threes. Majette, McVeigh and McIntosh all make contested fadeaways in the paint, and you know, sometimes you got to live with those things. But we still had our chance there. You know, CG on a coach's challenge, you know, 4 down with him going to the line for 3. I haven't seen it. I didn't like our coach's challenge. I didn't think that one, you know, should have been successful for us as well. You know, there's some of those calls that were massive impact in the play, but again, that's a side note to what was a hell of a finals contest and a hell of a crowd.
Dean, you mentioned the physicality going up. That game looked a lot like a New Zealand Perth one from back a decade ago. How can your guys find more room in game 3? How can they sort of get out of the wrestles and sort of the obstructions that are stopping them getting around? Yeah,
there's definitely some speed humps as you run down the floor, and you know, it's what they do. You know, it's something they chart, and is, you know, hitting people and contesting people as they run down the floor. You know, we've got to keep finding ways to be better and navigate it. And, you know, we found our pace the other night when we got stops. We didn't get as much pace and free-flowing basketball tonight when we got stops. So hopefully we can find that. Hopefully, again, we'll find some sets that let the basketball move quickly that can free us up for good looks.
Dally, how difficult was it to get things going tonight with the physicality at the defensive end? What do you want to see from the guys in game 3? Do you guys have to just fight harder, find a way through, or what's the sort of message from there?
Yeah, I mean, I think they did a good job defensively. You know, they try to take away a few things. And I think, you know, first quarter, we kind of got bogged down, but after that, we got it moving a bit more. We found some things that worked. We got some good open looks. And then, you know, I thought Whitey did a good job. I don't know how many 3 O boards, but it felt like he got some big important